Hi EBK team, thank you for sending the training exercise and working through it. There are a few things that I just wanted to go over for you to help when you begin to enter your own EQA PT results. So there's quite a few different types of quick buttons. If you select any of the quick buttons, I'm going to select Pending Investigation. You'll see at this top what quick button table that you're in. This is just something I wanted to note. As you become more well versed in the system, I have a feeling that you're going to use a lot of different quick buttons. And so it's just a quick way to check to see which investigation table that you're in. As you know, depending on which quick button table that you access, you're going to have different filters. So just something to be aware of. The second thing, all of your tables that you access can be exported to Excel. And when you select any of your filters, when you decide to save it as a spreadsheet, if you wanted to do any additional metrics, you would just go to this More at the top and then Save as a Spreadsheet. This will pull the filtered results. So the master site report raw data will be the only, will give you true results. And what I mean by that, if I look at the master report in comparison, so if I go back to the home screen, select master report, I'm going to select my provider, we'll just do CAP. If I'm, just to show you, if I select my More and Save as a Spreadsheet, you're going to see funky text that comes through. This, for example, this result right here. It's not a problem with Excel. It's the way that Quickbase is set up. So just to be mindful, if you do want to do any additional metrics, that you want to make sure that you pull your results from master report site raw data. And then for the data entry. So I want to look at the rapid HIV panel that you entered first. This is result number 252. You did such a nice job here with your data submission, noting your results received and the times. Very, very good job. So if I look at this associated document, this AHIV EQA report here, I'm going to open this up. And so when I look at a CAP report, and you're probably not familiar with CAP, but there are some things that are general or standard. So when you look at a PT report, as you know, it's going to tell you your different analytes, and then you're going to have your grade, your result. So in this case, we have two analytes that we're looking at and that we reported to CAP. We have our anti-HIV-1 rapid test, and we have our algorithm diagnostic rapid test. If I look at our app, as you can see, there's 4 analyte types. So on our PT, on our EQA survey, there are 2 analytes, and on the app, there are 4 analytes. So the reason you're going to sometimes see more analytes on the app than you do on the EQA survey is because these are made for all teams. So some teams report more analytes than other teams. So we have to note that accordingly. That's also important for you to know, so that if you begin to enter EQA and you're noticing analytes are missing, all you have to do is just to let us know and just say, we have additional analytes that are on our EQA that are not on our PT, that are on our PT list but not in the app. And what we can do is we'll add those analytes to the app. So I'm going to select the Edit button here. And let's just look at this data that we have. So on our PT EQA survey, we have anti-HIV-1/2 rapid test. We had 5 out of 5 that were successful. So I'm going to find the anti-HIV-1/2 analyte on the app. So it's anti-HIV 1-2. So you marked it as 100%, which is perfect. Our next analyte on the PT is our algorithm diagnostic rapid test. We had 4 out of 5 that were acceptable. So we have an 80% pass rate. So in the app, I'm going to look for the algorithm diagnostic rapid test. And so we only had 80% correct, so I'm going to change that to 80%. As you can see, investigation required populates. So now what do we do with these two analytes that we don't have results for because we didn't report it to the provider? So we're going to change this from 100% pass rate because we didn't report those. We don't know if we would have been successful or not successful. As you can see, our status right now is in progress, and our comments we're going to select not done, and it changes to completed. So not done means that you didn't report it to the provider, and there's many different reasons for this. Maybe you just don't run that analyte. Maybe you're not reporting it as you've taken it off your testing menu. Various reasons. So you would just select not done. So we have 80% for our algorithm diagnostic rapid test. We have 100% for our anti-HIV 1-2 rapid test, and then not done for the other 2 analytes that are not on our EQA survey. So I'm going to save and close this. And now our result status is pending investigation. So not done will always be needed for any analyte that you don't report to your EQA provider. And the reason that is that you have to have a completed status or investigation required status. The investigation required status, remember, automatically generates. But you have to have one of these 2 statuses for your result status for your overall panel to be presented correctly. So always just something just to keep in mind as you're entering data, just to make sure you select not done in addition, to your percent corrects. So the second type is that qualitative quantitative type entry. So I want to look at the flow panel that you entered, which is, I believe, 253 record ID. I'm going to open the associated document here. So qualitative quantitative result types are a little bit more detailed. So we're looking at 2 different parameters. We're looking at our analyte, but we're also looking at our analyte by specimen code. And you'll know if it's a result entry type in the qualitative quantitative result entry type in 2 ways. One, when you select your panel, you're going to see this little area for tick boxes to come up. And then 2, you'll see your code that comes up. So if I look at this flow panel, if I go to the second page, so the way that CAP shows how many specimens you have is by listing them here in this column. So you have we have 3 specimens, FL07, FL08, and FL09. So here we've only noted FL07, and so we only have 1 specimen code that's been added to the table. And this is a little bit tricky for this app, is if I edit now and I try to add the additional specimen codes by selecting how many specimens I have and then adding our name of our specimen for this survey, you'll see that this analyte doesn't pull over. And it's just the way that the system information is linked. So I'm just going to look at FL07 for now, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like for a fully entered from the beginning 3 specimen code types. So since we're looking by analyte and by specimen code, the first thing that I want to check is I want to look at my analyte name in the app, which is CD3 lymphocyte percentage. So this is right here, CD3 lymphocyte percentage. And then second, I want to check to make sure that I am looking at, in this case, our first specimen, FL07. So here we have CD3 lymphocyte, our analytes, and then our specimen code, FL07. And then I'm going to look straight across. So our result is 73, and we had an acceptable grade. So here, my quantitative result will be 73, and it will be acceptable. So you would do that for each analyte and specimen code. So just be mindful when you're working through your PT reports, if you have a qualitative, quantitative type, that you're looking at both parameters, both the analyte and the specimen code. And you'll do that by specimen for qualitative, quantitative. So I'm going to save and close this. I'm going to not save and close this. So as I said, it doesn't link properly if you try to add specimen codes after the fact. So if you miss specimen codes, you'd have to redo the entry. But I'm going to look at another flow cytometry. Let's look at this 246 right here. So as you can see, there's 3 specimen codes were selected, FLA1, FLA2, and FLA3. So you want to make sure your specimen codes match what your EQA provider is, and you've selected them. And if I look at the second table here, as you can see, if I select specimen 2, you can see that FLA2 code, and specimen 3, FLA3 code, and specimen 1 is FLA1, which matches what this report was entered. So really, the big takeaway is that if you have a qualitative, quantitative type, you're looking at 2 parameters. You're looking at analyte, but you're also looking at specimen code. So you want to make sure that you capture all information. So you'll have your 3 specimen codes, and you'll put in that data that is applicable to the analyte and to the specimen code. Well, thank you. If you have any questions, I hope that this helped a little bit to show the differences with the result entry types. I know CAP is definitely probably different than some of the other PT providers. So I can understand why it's always a little bit weird to read new survey providers, but I hope this information helps for when you begin your entries. Thank you again. If you have any questions, really truly feel free to email me or ask for more training. I'm happy to accommodate with our schedules and make sure that you're feeling comfortable with the app. Thank you. Bye.